Welcome to our channel. We're excited to have you join us in learning to master English. Our channel aims to make learning English easy, fun, and engaging through our podcast series.
Okay, so welcome to another deep dive with us.
Yes.
And today we are talking about Umrah.
Umrah.
So for listeners who aren't familiar, Umrah is a pilgrimage to Mecca for Muslims.
Right. And it's not obligatory like Hajj is.
Right, like it's not one of the 5 pillars of Islam.
Exactly.
But it's still a very important and significant pilgrimage for Muslims around the world.
Absolutely.
And what we're going to be looking at today is why that is.
Yeah, why is it so popular?
Yeah, so the source material that we're working with is an Indonesian audio file.
Okay.
And the title of this file is Indonesian Umrah is Expensive.
Interesting.
And so the question that we're trying to get at today is, if it's so expensive, why are so many people going on Umrah?
Well, I think the spiritual aspect of it is a huge draw.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for Muslims going on Umrah, it's a chance to seek forgiveness from Allah.
Yeah, you can kind of hit the reset button.
Right. It's a clean slate.
On all those things that you've done wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the audio file actually mentions a hadith.
Oh, really?
From Bukhari and Muslim. Okay.
That emphasizes that the sins between one Umrah and the next Umrah are forgiven.
So each Umrah is like a spiritual cleanse.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. That's powerful.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people, they try to go as often as they can.
Makes sense.
Because they want to make sure that they're, keeping their slate clean.
Yeah, you're constantly striving to better yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just about, cleansing yourself.
Right.
But the audio also mentions how Mecca and Medina are seen as places where prayers are more readily answered.
It's like you have a direct line to Allah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so people travel from all over the world to be in that space, to feel that closeness to the divine.
I can see why that would be so appealing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's also the historical significance.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You're visiting the places where the Prophet Muhammad lived and preached.
Like the Kaaba.
The Kaaba, Masjid Nabawi, Jabal Rahmah.
Jabal Rahmah, isn't that where he received his first revelation?
Yeah, exactly. So there's this really deep connection to the very roots of Islam.
Yeah, I can only imagine what it must be like to be there.
Especially being at the Kaaba.
Yeah.
Muslims pray towards the Kaaba 5 times a day.
Right, no matter where they are in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to actually be there present in that moment
Must be incredible.
must be incredibly moving.
Yeah.
You're literally embodying your faith in that moment.
Absolutely.
And the audio file also talks about, this social aspect of Umrah.
The social aspect.
Yeah. In some communities undertaking Umrah, it can elevate your social standing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of seen as a mark of, spiritual maturity and dedication.
There's something to be proud of.
Yeah, people really strive to be able to go on this journey.
Yeah.
And it really reflects a deep commitment to their faith.
I can see that.
And I love this tradition of families saving together
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
to send a member of their family on Umrah.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah, especially in places where it might be more difficult to afford it.
Right.
They all come together to make sure that someone in their family can have this experience.
It really shows how important Umrah is to them.
Yeah, and it shows the unity, the support within these families.
Definitely.
They're willing to sacrifice so much to make sure that their loved one can have this opportunity.
Yeah. It speaks volumes about their values.
One thing that we haven't talked about yet is how Umrah can be a stepping stone to Hajj.
Oh, right.
Because Hajj is one of the 5 pillars of Islam.
It's the pilgrimage that every Muslim is supposed to make at least once in their lifetime.
If they're able to.
Right, if they're physically and financially able.
And so Umrah can be a way for people to kind of get ready for Hajj.
Oh, okay.
They can familiarize themselves with the rituals, with the process, and just deepen their connection with Allah.
So it's like a practice run.
Exactly. And it allows them to experience that spiritual journey, in a less intense setting before they embark on that more demanding Hajj pilgrimage.
That's really smart.
Yeah. And the audio file also mentions how some people view Umrah as an opportunity for personal growth.
Personal growth? How so?
Well, they see it as a chance to maybe improve their health, their wealth, even just finding peace and clarity in their lives.
So it's about more than just the religious aspect.
Yeah, it's about seeking those blessings, those positive changes in their lives.
Interesting.
They see Umrah as a turning point.
A fresh start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they come back feeling renewed and reinvigorated.
I can understand that.
Yeah. And of course, we can't forget about the core religious motivations.
Right. The religious significance of Umrah.
And the audio emphasizes that, acts of worship in Mecca and Medina, they're believed to be much more rewarding.
More rewarding than anywhere else.
Than anywhere else in the world.
So their prayers, their good deeds, they carry more weight.
Exactly. And that's a really powerful motivator for a lot of Muslims.
Yeah, they want to get the most out of their worship.
Absolutely. And there's also this idea of following in the footsteps of the Prophet Muhammad.
Of course, he performed Umrah as well.
He did. And so for many Muslims, going on, Umrah is a way to connect with their faith on an even deeper level.
By following his example.
Exactly. It adds a whole other layer of meaning to the experience.
Absolutely.
And finally, the audio file talks about this incredible sense of unity among Muslims from all over the world during Umrah.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that.
You see people from all different countries, cultures, backgrounds.
And all united by their faith.
Exactly. They're all performing the same rituals, sharing the same experience.
And it creates this sense of brotherhood.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even with all our differences, we're all connected.
Through Islam.
Through our shared faith. And so it's clear that, the spiritual, emotional, social rewards of Umrah, they're immense.
They really are.
It's no wonder that for so many people, the cost becomes secondary.
To the experience.
To the blessings that they hope to receive.
And to that sense of unity.
Absolutely. And it just makes me think about the idea of pilgrimage in general.
Oh, interesting.
Even outside of religion.
Okay.
What journeys do we undertake in our own lives to seek transformation?
To find meaning.
To find a deeper connection to something bigger than ourselves?
It's a great question.
Yeah, it's something to think about.
Definitely.
Thanks for joining us on another deep dive.